Good evening, SFBN fans. I'm your host, Nicki Jones, and you are watching In the Paint, a high school basketball talk show dedicated to girls basketball in the state of Pennsylvania. Last week, we had Mike and Joe send in some brackets for their predictions about who would win what game, so stay tuned to see who scored the highest. Welcome back. Once again, I'm your host, Nicki Jones, alongside Joe Fite and also Mike McDonald. How are you guys doing? Did you guys miss me last week?
We did. Absolutely.
Always
right.
a great job on the CAA tournament.
Thank you. All right, so how this is going to work, we're going to go through the brackets 1A through 6A. I'm going to read them off, and then I'll let you guys know who scored higher, pretty much. So first for 1A, we have Lebanon Catholic played Greenwood, and Lebanon Catholic won 54-53. Next, we have the Christian Academy versus Benton. Christian Academy won 42-29. Lords Regional versus Sullivan County. Lords Regional won 63-47. Jenkintown beat Linden Hall. The score was 47-21. Winchester Thurston played Bishop Carroll. Bishop Carroll won 51-28. AC Valley played Kennedy Catholic, and Kennedy Catholic won 58-47. And Juniata Valley played Berlin's Brothers Valley, and Juniata Valley won 52-28. And then we have Farrell, who played North Clarion. Farrell won in overtime 63-58. So based on all of those games, Mike scored 17, and then Joe scored 16. So Joe lost by 1 point.
It's all about the win at this point in the season.
I expect to make it up in the quarterfinals on Saturday.
All right, so we're going to go on to 2A. And we have West Catholic, who played Southern Columbia. West Catholic won 67-53. And then we have Mahoney Area played Sacred Heart Academy, and Mahoney Area won 58-32. Old Forge played Minersville. Minersville won 59-48. Brentwood played Penns Manor. Penns Manor won 63-45. Vincentian Academy played Blairsville. Blairsville won 41-36. Reynolds beat Coudersport 38-35. Bishop McCourt played
Charters Houston.
Charters Houston won 64-51. And then in the last bracket, we had Bellwood Antis played West Middlesex, and Bellwood won 70-53. And let's see, for 2A, Joe had 14 and Mike had 17.
Ooh.
So we got 2 for Mike.
Well, my 2A bracket's busted. Thanks to Vincentian. I had Vincentian winning the whole thing, and they lost in the second round. So shows you what I know about 2A basketball.
Staying consistent with 17. I like it.
Yeah, that might be the magic number for the next one, so we'll see. All right, so we have, let's see, 3A. In the 3A bracket, we have Imhotep played North Schuylkill. Imhotep Charter won 65-58. And then we had Dunmore played Mount Carmel area. Dunmore won 52-47. Then we had St. Basil's played Holy Redeemer. St. Basil's won 38-26. And Newman Goretti played Loyalsock Township. Newman Goretti won 79-31. York Catholic played Penns Valley. York Catholic won 52-37. East Allegheny beat Statesville 60-34. Bishop Canevin played Everett and won 46-39. And then lastly, we have Mohawk beat Laurel 46-31. And drum roll, guys.
Oh,
So for 3A, Mike had 17 again, and then Joe had 19.
oh,
So 2 for Mike and 1 for Joe so far. You guys want to comment on any bracket information for 3A?
Well, 3A, St. Basil's, I have them picked to win the state championship, and they won pretty convincingly over Holy Redeemer, 38-26. They're going to be a power there, but now they got to go up against New McGoretti, and New McGoretti found some newfound firepower from the state of Virginia, so that should be an interesting game, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see New McGoretti win that game.
yeah, it could go either way. I think it's going to be if Basil's can slow it down enough. I think Basil's wants it to be, similar to their previous score, 38-26. If they can keep the score somewhere around that range, it might be harder against New McGoretti, but that would be more Basil's game, I think. New McGoretti wants that to go above 40-50
Right.
or more. With their offensive firepower, they want to run up and down the court and get baskets in transition. So look for Basil to slow it down, try to run good offense for 30 seconds to a minute at a time if need be, to try to get good layups.
And that's one thing that can frustrate New McGoretti. If the team's used to running up and down the floor, and you got a team playing against them that's making 5-10 passes before they shoot the ball, frustration sets in and problems ensue.
Right.
I also saw York Catholic. They're playing East Allegheny. I saw them against Mastery Charter South last week out at West York, and they're a nice team, but I think East Allegheny is probably going to end up winning that game. I got Bishop Canevin playing St. Basil's in the finals, so we'll see what happens.
So you say St. Basil's is going to beat New McGoretti,
I think so.
even with the new player that they
Well,
have?
I didn't know that until today, but I think I'm going to stick with my original choice. My mother went to St. Basil's, so
Okay. I have St. Basil's as well. I think if they can get through this game, that'll be a huge confidence boost moving forward. There'll still be 2 tough matchups after that, but that'll be a huge confidence boost, and I think they have the coaching power to kind of handle those big situations, those big games. The team will be prepared. I think York Catholic might win that game over East Allegheny. Another well-coached program. Kevin Bankers does a really nice job. He's been here before. They knocked off St. Basil's last year in the tournament. They're playing without Kate Bayhoff this season, but they have some long, tall kids down low who stretch to the perimeter and can shoot it. So that should be another solid matchup.
When you said that,
What's that?
I feel like you looked at
Never
me.
saw you play, but maybe you're wrong and talked to. Yeah. They have some good size on their team and some good length, so that can give teams problems.
The problem I saw with them was that they were missing a lot of easy shots, and Mastery Charter South hung with them for 3 quarters, and so I didn't think they would be able to do that, but. So York Catholic is vulnerable. The big girl they have down low missed a lot of easy layups. So maybe she got that straightened out in practice.
Maybe, yeah. And Bishop Canevin's a strong team out of Pennsylvania. They should. I think they'll be okay winning that game. Sorry to Mohawk, but I think Bishop Canevin will be okay winning that game to see either York Catholic or East Allegheny in the next round.
Yep.
Sounds like it's going to be a juicy round of basketball this Monday. So before we get into the 4A brackets, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see if Joe can catch up after.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
We're talking goaltending here, and we're talking about high school rules as opposed to NCAA or NBA, which are slightly different. The referee is looking for 4 criteria. Number 1, is the ball on its way down? Number 2, is the ball fully above the rim? Number 3, was it an attempted shot? And number 4, did that shot have a chance to go in the opinion of the referee? If all 4 of those criteria are met, a goaltending call is made and the basket is good. Slapping the backboard is never goaltending. It's always a technical foul.
And welcome back. We have some more brackets for you guys. Starting with 4A, we have Lancaster Catholic played Allentown. Lancaster Catholic won by 2 points. The score was 32-30. Lower Moreland played Scranton Prep. Scranton Prep won 57-31. Bonner Pendergast won and beat Bethlehem Catholic by 40-38. Gwynedd Mercy won and beat Nanticoke 37-26. Berks Catholic won and beat Kennerdale 41-32. And then we have Bishop McDevitt beat Forest Hills 58-46. Cardinal Whirl played Ambridge and won 69-40. And then we have Beaver Area played Villa Maria, and Villa Maria won 55-40. Let's see, we have for 4A, Mike, do you guys know your scores there? You don't know, don't cheat.
I'm 17, 17, and 14, I think I was.
So for this bracket, you have 19, and then Joe, you had 18.
Oh.
So close.
I just hope he's wrong in the next bracket one time.
It's going to be a close one. So for this bracket, do you guys have any updates, information you want to talk about?
Well, I know Lancaster Catholic at the top of the bracket there against Scranton Prep. Lancaster Catholic with Kiki Jefferson and Lauren Mills. With Kiki Jefferson on your team, you have a chance to beat anybody. She can play down low. She can play on the perimeter. She's got a great IQ, great ability to score the ball, and she's unselfish to facilitate the other players. So they could easily make a run to the state championship just with her alone and Lauren Mills and their complementary players. But Scranton Prep, well coached. They've been in this tournament for years. I'm watching Jess Genko play for Northeastern now. She's doing really well in that conference in the CAA. She's a Scranton Prep grad. We've played them a couple of times in the state. We played against Jess. So that coach really knows what he's doing. He's been here before. So look for them. That should be a good game between Lancaster Catholic and Scranton Prep. I'm going to go with my pick, I think, and side with Kiki Jefferson getting the win for Lancaster Catholic in that one. But it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, I have Lancaster Catholic winning that game also. Unfortunately for me, I had Bethlehem Catholic winning the semifinal and the final, and they're out. So it's another bracket that's busted for me.
Yeah.
The game that is going to hold some interest for me is the Gwynedd Mercy Bonner Prendergast game. I wasn't sure Gwynedd could get this far, and Tom Lonergan really has them playing well right now. They're playing really good defense against Nanticoke. They were up 13-5 in the first quarter, and none of Gwynedd's kids were shooting the ball all that well. They had 2 kids that scored 9 points each, but when Gwynedd gets this far in the season, it's going to be interesting. Mike, what do you know about Bonner Prendergast?
Yeah, I picked Bonner Prendy. I have the advantage of I actually have them going to the state championship in my picks, but it was a little bit PCL bias in a way. But I've also seen them play a lot. I was shocked at where they finished in the Catholic League. I thought they would be stronger. They just didn't get over the hump in some close matchups. They had Goretti beaten with like a minute or so left in the game. They let that one slip, and they were in every other game against the top teams in the PCL. So I knew they had the pieces, and I think they're gelling at the right time now. Nia Garrison was out with a sprained ankle for half the season this year. She was actually out of her last game due to an illness, I think, but she should be playing against Gwynedd. They have Dakota McCaughan, who can really handle the ball better than most kids in the area, better than most kids I've seen at her level. She's a sophomore. She plays with guys. I know that she's been playing with boys for years to work on different things.
That makes a big difference.
Big difference, big difference. But she's always, she's always in the gym. She's always working, and she has to. She's not, that tall. She's about 5 feet, maybe. But she plays. I mean, to her strengths. I mean, can change direction, can shoot step back. She can hit threes from NBA range, and she's very, very crafty going to the basket and distributing the basketball. And they have good size around her. Alexa Gleason down low can catch and finish. Nia Garrison, who I mentioned, can stretch the floor and shoot it. And they have a few other kids down low that can really give you problems rebounding the basketball. Alyssa Monahan's younger sister, Alyssa's at St. Joe's killing it, but Alyssa was PCL MVP her senior year. Her sister, Emily Monahan, can really shoot it from deep playing for Bonner, really stretches the floor for them. And Maeve McCann, another guard, really stretches the floor, attacks the basket, and provides another shooting aspect to them. So when they gel, if they play together, they can be a problem. But like you mentioned before, Gwen and Mercy defends really well. So ever since Tom Lonergan, not that they didn't before, I just didn't know, but when Tom Lonergan took over the program, that's what they've been known for. They will really, take away passing lanes, take away lanes to the basket, just make you take tough contested shots. That's why a lot of their games are low-scoring affairs. That and they're very drilled on the offensive end. They will run offense until they get something easy or something good. Mara Conroy at the point guard spot for them, when she decides to lock down defensively, it's very, very hard to get the ball over the court. I would look to see that if she's matched up with Dakota McCawn, it would be a very good matchup. She really can defend. I've never seen too many guards defend like her. She really moves her feet, plays angles well, and she can really handle the ball. Carly Heineman can stretch the floor. She can shoot jumpers, another senior for Gwen and Mercy. And then they have Coach Cindy Griffin's daughter, Kaylee Griffin, a freshman who's doing good things for them. She's a scrappy guard, changes speeds, can shoot it from the outside. And again, they're a team that seems to get better as the year goes on with their coach. Tom Lonergan does a really nice job of them. So that should be a really, really good game. Be nice to see them. Unfortunately, I think I'm playing on the same day. But
well, Bonner Prendergast was trailing in that game against Bethlehem Catholic at halftime, 23-17, and they came back with a big second half to win that. And Dakota McCawn had 13 points. She was the leading scorer in the game. For Bonner Prendergast. For Gwynedd Mercy, Carly Heineman and Georgia Caddy each had 9 points. Nobody had double-figure scoring for Gwynedd, but they had two kids with 9 points each.
What's the other one? Berks Catholic.
Berks Catholic and McDevitt, Bishop McDevitt of Harrisburg. Berks Catholic has always been a power, even back when they were Reading Central Catholic. So I look for Berks Catholic to win that game, and Cardinal Whirl, I've got them going out to the championship game. So I expect I'm looking for them to beat Villa Maria of Erie. And so that game's in Pittsburgh on Saturday at 2:30.
And that's another one that Joe and I disagree on. I think Villa Maria is. I have them winning the championship this year over Bonner Prendy. Doug Chusey is really. They know what they're doing at this time of the year. They've gotten there the last 3 years, I think. They haven't gotten over the hump and won one. I think this is the year they get over the hump and win it again. They won 3 a couple years ago in a row, so I think this is the year they get back there and they win it. They have great size. The only thing that's plagued them is some injuries to key players, but they have great size on the perimeter. They have great guards who can shoot the ball, and again, a coaching staff that really knows what they're doing at this time of the year. I know they'll have teams well scouted to put them over the hump, so I'd look to see them, and I agree. I think Berks Catholic will get that win in their game as well. I'll tell you what Berks Catholic might wish they had. Taylor Blunt, who we just played the other night, an incredible player now at Twin Valley. She's a sophomore, can shoot the floor from deep, shoot the ball from deep, can handle the ball. Very impressed with her game. And then I found out she came from Berks Catholic the year before. So they might want her this year too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to the 5A bracket. Harrisburg played and won against Abington Heights, 55-34. Lampeter Strasburg played Southern Lehigh. Southern Lehigh won 45-29. Archbishop Wood played Twin Valley. Archbishop Wood won. Congrats.
Thank you.
They won 48-35. Susquehannock played Henderson. Henderson won 57-47. And then we have Lord Dauphin played Archbishop Carroll. Archbishop Carroll won by 2. It was 39-37. Palmyra played Oakland Catholic. Oakland Catholic won 46-34. And then Gateway beat Harbor Creek 57-25. And Mars beat Thomas Jefferson 61-53. So I know Mike's over here antsy. He's ready to talk about his game. So just let us hear it.
I actually I don't like talking about our team. I prefer to just talk about these other games.
But Caitlin Oro.
I'll talk about Caitlin. Caitlin's outstanding. She had 19 points in the game, 13 of them in the fourth quarter. She's just tough. She's never been afraid. She's physically mature as a freshman, so she's able to bang around with seniors, no problem. Just a strong kid, goes to the basket very hard, can shoot it from the outside, has a great knack for the game. She had a really nice pass to Archidiakono for a layup against a 1-3-1. It was very impressive. But she, towards the end of the game when we had a lead, Twin Valley had to come out and chase us a little bit. We were able to get back cuts. It seemed to be her every time. She cuts extremely hard. She's able to catch it, and she's able to finish. Again, she's physical, so kids put their hands on her. She's able to fight through that and get the ball in those cuts. Bridget Arch, Mia Andrews gave her a couple nice passes on backdoors, and that kind of blew the game back open for us. We jumped out early. Katie May started us off with a big 3 right off the bat, and then Caitlin Oriole had a 3 and then a traditional 3-point play right after that to put us up 9-0, and then Riley Parsons stepped in and hit a 3 for us to go up 12-0. I thought that was huge for us. Even though they came back, they cut it to 4 in the fourth quarter. I think having that lead kind of helped us settle in with our confidence. It never felt like we were going to lose the game, even though the fourth quarter got shaky. Once we went back up, 7 or 8, our girls are accustomed to closing out games like that. But Taylor Blunt, as I mentioned earlier, she's phenomenal. Sophomore for Twin Valley. Look for her in the next couple years to be signing somewhere, but also to be making runs in these state playoffs. Hopefully not past us, but making runs along with Peyton McDaniel, another big-time player. I know there's a lot of college coaches that were there watching her as well, along with Caitlin Oriole, but Peyton McDaniel's a tough player. She's about 5'11", another strong body, stretches the floor, and doesn't need a lot of space or a lot of rhythm. It's just kind of all strength. She looks away, and all of a sudden, boom, knocking down shots. They were 2 tough guards, not guards, but tough for us to guard in a game. You couldn't leave them on the perimeter. Therefore, it left a lot of space in the middle. They have a tough point guard that was going to the basket well. We knew it was going to be a tough matchup. We were glad we came out with the win, and looking forward to a rematch with Westchester Henderson.
That's the second week in a row your team went out to a 12-0 first quarter lead.
Yeah, starting lineup is really in sync right now. We're able to stretch the floor again with 5 kids that typically come on the floor that can shoot the ball from the outside, and they can all kind of handle it. So if you come out and play us on the perimeter, they have the ability to rip and go by or get back cuts. So we're playing well. I think we're going to have to play one of our best games on Saturday versus Westchester Henderson, who's also playing very well, 29-0.
You played them last year, right?
We played them last year in the first round. I don't know many of their players' names. I just know their numbers and what they look like, and based on what they can do from game tape. But we played them last year. They played a 2-3 zone from the majority of the game. We couldn't buy buckets last year, and it was just a defensive battle the whole time. It was always close. I think we won 38-28 by 10, and it was even closer than that. So it was a tough battle. We expect it to be very tough this year. This year they have 3 or 4 post players that are going to be bigger than us, so we know we're going to have to keep them off the boards, and they have 2 guards who help handle and can shoot it from the outside. So it'll be a tough matchup, and I'm hoping that Joe's wrong and my pick is right and going with us.
I'm hoping I'm wrong too, or else they'll drum me out of the Archbishop Wood Alumni Association.
Before you guys continue, I almost forgot to say who won this bracket.
Oh, no, yeah.
Joe had 18, and Mike had 16.
Oh,
that's crazy.
I'll come back in the next round.
The team I feel sorry for in this bracket is Archbishop Carroll. You know, they were the number 3 seed out of District 12, and yet they ended up in the western half of the bracket. So now they've got to play Oakland Catholic. They've got to go out to Chambersburg on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. One of my public league teams, the Academy of Palumbo, was the number 4 seed out of District 12, and you know, they started off with a game, you know, close to home at Bethlehem Freedom. So how does that work out that Carroll, who ended up higher than them, has to travel farther? It's just, you know, in its infinite wisdom, sometimes the PIAA, you wonder how they schedule games. Like last night, I was at the Chamonix Lower Merion boys game, and the game was at Council Rock South, which is less than 10 minutes from the Chamonix.
Okay.
Lower Merion was the home team in the game. So, you know, people were sitting behind me from Lower Merion. I'm like, how's that work?
Yeah.
You know? So you never know.
I guess it just comes down to who's available, what gyms are available. You know, there's a lot of spring sports that are starting up that want to be in the gym as well. It's a tough job.
They actually do a pretty good job of placing teams halfway. You know, the gyms halfway between where the two teams are located. So
they do.
But that was just a weird occurrence, and I just noticed that the Carroll is going to be like well on the road. They better just like get you know, extra gas tank in that bus, you know, for that trip.
They'll be riding high after a 2-point win. It was at the buzzer, tie game. I know Molly Mash-Antonio was dribbling up to 4. I think Lower Dauphin got a little too excited at the end of the situation. Maybe thought there was less time. 3 kids ran at the ball. They found Allie Drager wide open from about 6 feet away. She hit a little jumper, and they wanted the buzzer. Beat the buzzer. Yeah. So it's an exciting win. Sometimes an exciting win like that, I think, boosts you.
Gives you some momentum.
Yeah. Molly Mass-Antonio had 20 points in that game.
She's a really good player.
Yep.
Really good player, and that's why I have them facing us in the state championship.
Would you not pick your team to win, or like is it just automatic you're going to pick your team?
I think I would be insane. And then, you got to believe in your own team. I think if someone's going to ask me who to pick, I have to pick my own team for sure.
I'll be smart and pick against myself.
Yeah, I think we have a really good chance if we play well to win it again. So it's not just completely that it's my team, but yeah. But if it was my team, no matter what, I'd be picking them.
I think Southern Lehigh is going to be an interesting team in there, playing Harrisburg on Saturday. And, you know, they've done well all year. And, in fact, they came into the tournament with a 24-2 record. So Southern Lehigh, when you get to this point in the season, to the quarterfinals, every team's good.
Every team's good. They're good. Harrisburg is good.
Gateway is good. You know, down the bottom of that bracket there. They got to play Mars, and you know, I'm looking for Gateway to get to the championship game against Archbishop Wood.
Yeah, you can't change it now, Joe. Yeah, you can't change it now.
He writes some stuff on there. All right, so we're going to move on to 6A, which is our last bracket, and we have a Facebook comment that I'm going to ask, and before I read off the comments, I'll let you guys think about the answer. So Ari wants to know, who is the best District 1 6A girls team remaiing?
Who's this guy Ari? He keeps calling in every week. I don't know.
Who is he?
Hey, where's the Sports Fan Base Network T-shirts? That's what we want to know.
That's right.
All right, so I'm going to read off the scores, and then you guys could answer the question. So we have Souderton played Easton and won. Souderton won 55-41. Plymouth Whitemarsh played Neshaminy, and Neshaminy won that game 43-37. Upper Dublin won against Garnet Valley 39-29. Abington played Freedom and won 63-55. And we have Central Dauphin played William Allen. William Allen won that game 42-39. And Council Rock North played Central Buck South, and Central Buck South won 48-31. We have State College played Bethel Park. Bethel Park won 53-35. North Allegheny won against Altoona 50-55. And then for this one, our last bracket, Mike had 14 And Joe, who doesn't have much confidence in himself anymore, had 14 as well. So we tied on that one.
It's not going to get better for me, though, since I had O'Hara winning the whole thing. He went out in the first round. I had to say Soderton is, definitely on paper, they're the best team. I think they're the most well-rounded. But the way Neshaminy is playing right now, if they can get out, I would, I don't know what Neshaminy's game plan is. My plan with Neshaminy's team, not as sized as Soderton, would probably be to pressure them as much as possible to see if they can take them out of the half-court game. But that should be a good game if Neshaminy can play well. Brooke Mullen is playing really well for them. And again, Neshaminy, what they have is a ton of people that can stretch the floor shooting the ball. Allie Harvey really shoots it. Liv Scotty really shoots it. Emily Tantella. And Kristen Curley can shoot it. And she really handles the ball well. She's a smart player. They're all, a lot of them are sophomores. They play a couple of juniors. So look for them to compete. I don't think this is going to be, a cakewalk for Soderton. But I think Soderton has the size. Kate Connolly, Elena Cardona, and Megan Walbrandt really provides a wing kind of forward guard position defensively. So if Neshaminy can space them out and hit shots early, maybe if they can get a lead and bring Soderton away from the basket, maybe that will open things up for them.
I have Soderton going out and winning the 6A championship. And I also have them playing Central Bucks South for the title. So that could be the game of the year. That really could be the game of the year. I'm not sure what they did against each other during the regular season. I think they may have split. I'm not sure. But, Soderton, with Kate Connolly, Megan Beeler, that whole crew, they're just, Beeler had 22 points, Kate Connolly had 16 in the win the other night, and they jumped out to a 16-2 lead. They play great defense, and like Mike said, they're a really well-rounded team. So, my opinion on paper, Soderton is probably the team to beat. But again, you've got some tough customers left in there. Neshaminy is kind of like a wild card. You don't know what they're capable of doing to get this far. Brooke Mullen, Kristen Curley, that crew. They could, Emily Tantella, they could be, a real factor there. And
it's the year of the underdog.
Abington and Upper Dublin. That should be an interesting game. I would look for Abington to win that one, but Upper Dublin's playing really good defense all year, and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think most coaches say that you no longer have freshmen at this time of the year. They're sophomores are juniors, and so on and so forth. Upper Dublin has started multiple freshmen the whole year, and they're getting more and more confident. I think the O'Hara win was huge for them. I think that obviously in the second round they got another win over Garnet Valley. So that's two different styles of teams that they've beaten in the first two rounds, and two high-level teams. So they could. That game against Abington can go either way, in my opinion. Who makes more shots, who gets better opportunities, and either team could make a run at this point in the season. It's just all about confidence, and it's all about.
Upper Dublin was shut out in the second quarter of their game, and they still won by 11.
Yeah.
So.
The other side of the bracket, I think North Allegheny would have something to say. They're ranked 21st in the country right now. By USA Today. So not a team that I hear too much about, outside of that, but they had a close one, 55-50 to 27-0. So it'll come down to maybe what their schedule was like during the season. So did they play enough top competition to get them prepared for this? So far they're doing okay. Look for that matchup with CB South in the next round.
All right. So I have your guys' total points and scores to see who won overall. It was out of 144, but before we tell the score, we're going to take a quick break.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have spent 3 days with the most insane program, okay, I have witnessed in my 17-year career. It excites me, the presence of point blank period. of Coach Dooley, of Coach Fowler, of the people that he works out with, that he trains with, okay? It's exciting. And you have had the luxury of spending 3 awesome days with these people. I watched Coach Fowler play. Mr. Coach, you watch Coach Fowler play? He is one of the most annoying basketball players you will ever see in your life. Okay? Because exactly what he trains, exactly what he preaches to you, he does at all times. This is real habit. This is not a gimmick. This is real basketball. Real basketball. Something that he has found success with. He has spread the word.
Back. So I have the final score for you guys. Who do you guys think won?
I'm going with my friend Mike.
I'm going with me too.
Of course, we already know his loyalty is with himself and his team. All right, so we have Joe has 99 of the 144 possible points. And Mike has 100. So it was very close. Very close. So, congrats.
Thank you very much.
See how it all rolls out at the end.
Yeah,
There's
see
a couple,
if you win next week or not.
you know, when you're picking those NCAA picks and you look at it and you go, well, my bracket's busted. It could be close now, but I might not have much going
Later
further.
on.
Yeah.
It's easier picking the NCAA brackets than it is picking the PIAA.
Yeah, it is.
I'm telling
It
you
is.
right now.
Well, you could see those games on like every channel, and these are a little bit harder to watch.
Yeah, you can't just like dial up Harbor Creek on Hulu.
All right, well, we will be back every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live, providing you guys with high school girls basketball in the state of Pennsylvania. You can always catch up with In the Paint by downloading our latest podcast. Make sure you go to the iTunes store and search for Sports Fan Base Network, or listen to and download our past episodes, including tonight's. But most importantly, make sure you give us 5 stars. Don't miss our other shows, 3 in the Key on Monday nights, talking about high school boys basketball in Pennsylvania, and all new Varsity Voice on Wednesday nights. In the meantime, make sure you go to our website, www.thesfbn.com, and check out everything related to high school sports in the state of Pennsylvania. Until then, we will see you next week. Bye.
Triple header at Ben Salem tomorrow. Be there.